Meanwhile, let's take it back to Traders 20 then, and Manas Jaiswal as well as Samit Chavan are right now here with us on the show. And Manas, let's start off with your first pick. In fact, you've got a couple of names from the auto ancillary pocket that you're picking up today. Start off with an Amara Raja Batteries.
My first pick is Amara Raja Batteries, where stock made a base near to 830 and started making higher tops and higher bottoms. On the daily chart, RSI is showing positive crossover. See, it is still trading above 200-day moving average. So possibly we may see further up move. It can test its 100-day moving average, which is placed near to 900 rupees. So 900 is our target. Stop loss is 872. Second is a buy call on CEAT. Last month, CEAT took support near to its 200-day moving average, but it was facing a lot of resistance in the range of 1060, 1070. Today, it broke this resistance with decent volumes. I think we may see further up move in CEAT. It can test 1110, so one can buy it with a stop loss of 1070. And last one is a buy call on Steel Authority. See, most of the metal stocks are looking strong on the charts. Yesterday's sale broke the resistance of 49.50 rupees with higher volumes. It is trading above 100-day moving average. So we may see further up move in Steel Authority. It can test 54, so one can buy it with a stop loss of 49.50.
Okay, that's a call coming in. Some top stocks to keep on your radar. Let's also get in Samit Chavan, who joins in. And Samit, share with us the outlook in terms of what's on the buy radar and what you're shorting.
Good morning, Aban. We have two buy recommendation. First one would be on REC for a target of 240 and stop loss can be placed at 222.5. After forming a strong base around 200, the stock has given a decent recovery in last 3-4 weeks. After a consolidation of nearly 5 to 6 trading sessions, today it is on the verge of giving a breakout from a near-term hurdle of 230. Considering the volume activity as well as the ongoing momentum, we expect this stock to move towards 240 over the next few sessions. And our second pick on the long side would be Shriram Transport for a target of 918 and stop loss can be placed at 863. 860 to 870 was acting as a strong resistance for Shriram Transport. Today it has given a decisive breakout with the rising volumes. Considering the daily chart structure, we expect this move to extend towards 918 over the next few sessions. Thus it can be bought at current levels. And our final recommendation would be to short Aurobindo Pharma for a target of 840. Stop loss can be placed at 889. Last week also we had recommended this stock around 880 for a target of 840. We saw a sharp sell-off on Monday. However, in last couple of days it has given a decent recovery. 875 to 880 we are seeing as a strong resistance. The daily chart structure still looks negative, thus it can be shorted for a target of 840.
Okay, those are the top ideas that Samit is picking up. There's REC, Aurobindo Pharma as well as Shriram Transport. Meanwhile, take a look at what's happening in the broader end of the markets as well. And you've got the Nifty that's just about actually slipped into the negative territory, but the mid-cap index, as you can see, is certainly flying high. Ditto is the case for the small-cap end also, which is up almost 1% right now. Let me run you through some of the top movers that we can spot here. There's Castex Technologies that's up a whopping 11% right now. There's also GVK Power that's seeing a good up move of about 6-odd%. Keep in mind that gas price that has been renegotiated as far as our contract with Qatar goes works out well for for power companies as well, which are dependent on natural gas. Meanwhile, Renuka Sugars, that's another top mover. It's up about 5.5%. We've been talking about how sugar has been an area in focus. Ditto is the case for a Bajaj Hindustan as well. You've also got some moves coming in on the mid-cap infrastructure names, the likes of a JP Power, an NCC, even an Era Infra is seeing a strong move. And you've also got an SRF up about 3.5% right now. On the losers list, there's not too many, very sharp cuts coming through, but Indus Cements is seeing some pressure and about 1.5% gone on a Suzlon, and Indiabulls Real Estate as well as a Punch Lloyd also off by about 1%.
Okay, that's the outlook when it comes to the small caps. Got lots more trading ideas lined up. The ball continues to roll. We've got Mitesh Panchal, Sumit Bagadia now joining in. Mitesh, flat for the markets, broader markets is clearly where all the traction is. In light of this, you've got 3 buy calls from the mid caps.
Yes. As we see since last two trading sessions, mid cap and small caps are buzzing. So majority of the buy calls are coming from these two segments only. First is a DHFL. If you look at the stock, from 245 stock slides and hold a multiple support in the range of 220 to 230. In recent past, we have witnessed that as and when stock travel between 220 to 230, somehow stock is attracting the buy side trade formation and eventually trading higher and close at around 260. With this setup, I have decided to go long into the counter with a stop loss of 228 for a potential target of 250. Second is Apollo Tyre. After a steep fall, Apollo Tyre has spent a quality time between 240 to 250. Stock has spent a good amount of time in the consolidation and now finally making an attempt to enter into a new trading range. Any trade in an intraday on 15 minutes chart above 162 will lift the stock to test 170 and 175. Looking at today's momentum, it seems to me that stock will enter into a new trading range. So I have gone long into the stock with a stop loss of 154 for a target of 170. Third is a UBL. If you look at the chart pattern of UBL, it is trading in a very narrow range between 970 on the upside and 930 on the downside. Now it seems to me that based on an hourly chart, going forward the stock likely to break this narrow range and enter into a new trading range and witness a buy side trade formation breakout. So I have decided to go long in this stock with a stop loss of 925 for a target of 995.
Okay, there you have it. Those are some top picks. Mitesh Panchal clearly betting on mid caps. Let's also get in Sumit Bagadia. He joins in on the phone line. Sumit, run us through your strategy for the day.
Hi, good morning. Well, as far as trading picks are concerned, I think for a day, I think Adani Power looks good to me. One can initiate long position in Adani Power at CMP or on dips in prices till 34. Adani Power is a very good buy with a stop loss to be placed at 32 rupees on lower side for the immediate target of 38 and 40 levels. Adani Power has given a breakout. I have a strong conviction on Adani Power. I think one can initiate long position in Adani Power at CMP for the targets of 38 and 40. Well, the second pick that looks good to me is Reliance Capital. Reliance Capital has given a very good upside move in past couple of days. And at present, it seems that the same trend will continue for next few days also. So I think one can initiate long position in Reliance Capital at CMP with the trading stop loss to be placed at 440 rupees on lower side for the immediate target of 490 and 500 levels. So I think one can initiate long position in Reliance Capital at CMP for an immediate target of 500 levels. And the third stock that looks good to me is Asian Paints. Well, from past couple of days, we have seen that Asian Paints has given a very good upside move. And we feel that it has given breakout today. And on higher side, we are expecting Asian Paints to touch levels of around 925 to 30 in a very short-term time horizon. And if 925-30 is taken away on closing basis, then we can see the Asian Paints in four figures. That means we are expecting Asian Paints to touch levels of around 1,000 very soon. So for a trading bet, I think one can initiate long position in Asian Paints at CMP, that is 890 and 900 levels, with a stop loss to be placed at 880 rupees for the immediate target of 925. And if 925 is taken on a closing basis, then in next 1 week to 10 days, we can see levels of around 950.
Okay, those are the ideas that Sumit then is flagging off for our viewers: Adani Power, Reliance Capital and Asian Paints. Well, that's about all the equity ideas on the show. Let's also find out what's happening with the commodities in terms of the latest trends. And you've got NYMEX as well as Brent that's holding up just about in the positive zone right now. Manisha Gupta is here with a quick check on that. Manisha, good morning.
Morning, Megha. Thank you so much for that. Well, yesterday's decline, and after that, we have seen some buying coming in for the energy stocks there. Well, on one side, markets are awaiting the US weekly inventories, and that could be slightly bullish for the prices. On the other side, it also has to do with the Middle East tension. Saudi Arabia, Iran, and now Libya, as well as Islamic State militants, have been able to yet again capture another oil infrastructure field there. So that's what's really bothering the space there. If you look at the gold and silver prices, all the geopolitical concerns, the economic data that has been on the weaker side from many of the countries is what has led to some safe haven buying coming in for that sector. When it comes to the base metal sector, while the data has been on the weaker side and the oversupply concerns are still there, it is after the China stimulus that came in on Monday that this space as well has seen some opportunity buying coming in on the lower side. So that's how all the three sectors seem to be trading in the Asian markets right now. How do you trade that space though? For that, let's get into Ignan Sekhar with his strategies on all of that sector. Ignan Sekhar, hi, good to have you. What's your sense really coming in for the crude oil prices? Because on one side, the oversupply still continues, but on the other side, do you think the geopolitical tensions arising out of Middle East actually might give some support?
Like you said, I think the oversupply is something which continues to weigh on crude prices. But in a slightly broader picture, crude is finding some amount of support at these levels, and it's also looking like it's gradually consolidating. Most of these bearishness is already factored in, and my own personal feeling is that the Iran supply, which the market feels could depress prices further, might not happen because in their own interest, I don't think they'll flood the market. So all these things put together, and with the charts indicating that we've probably seen a bottom. I'm inclined to buy it on any dips from here, though I might get stopped out because of the volatility a couple of times. But still, I would go on the buying side, and any dips from here to 237,565 can be bought.
What's your sense then coming in for the base metal space? Because the weaker data that has come in sense of manufacturing from US and China doesn't really augur so well. The China stimulus, though, do you think that can help support prices gain up from here, or are you still, would be cautious on that space?
Absolutely cautious, because we've seen a lot of stimulus in the last year as well, but it's not done enough to prop up prices. I think the recovery in base metals will be more from the supply side, because as the price start falling, I think most of these mines will naturally start cutting production and cost. So it's going to be a supply-driven recovery, but at least not in the first quarter, maybe from the next quarter. So there is some pain left in the base metals, but again, I'm not too sure if the downside is a lot from present levels. It's going to be limited. But as of now, it's better to be on the selling side. And I think copper, specifically if I take copper, and from here, it has got a 5 to 6% kind of a downside, and any upticks can be sold.
Gnanseka, we'll let you go at that. Thank you so much for joining us with your strategies. That's the view then coming in from Comtrends. They have a buy on crude but a sell in copper, with the target nearly 5 to 6% on the lower side from these current levels is the view coming in. With that, it's back to you, Avan.
Thanks very much, Manisha, for joining in and giving us all of those details and strategies in the commodities space. But of course, today in the primary markets is a big day for the Narayan Health IPO. And of course, we will be listening into what the management has to say. Dr. Devi Shetty joins in with the business outlook for the company at 12 noon. So tune in to ET Now.
All right, and well, let's also get you that quick reminder that we've discussed a whole host of stock ideas on the show. So if you'll be taking on board any of the advice that's given, please do consult your own investment advisor as well before taking any positions. And we'll take a quick break on the show. But before we do that, a big thank you to our equity experts for being with us today.